I get this call from this woman who says that they are planning to start a movement. The logical conclusion of it is going to be that they want to bring it about in Pakistan as a law against sexual abuse in workplaces in Pakistan.
कैसा आगाज़ था, बेसदा साज़ था इस सफ़र का, मगर मैं अकेली न थी। ख्वाब आँखों में थे, सहमे सहमे हुए था जुनूं हम सफ़र, मैं अकेली न थी।
They have to accept the shame rather than fight the shame, and I think she's given them a way out of living with the shame and accepting it.
Dignity in our homes, in public space, at workplace especially, what I experienced. The whole movement, the idea of the movement came from there. And when I talked to others, it was just so easy to connect, and everybody said, yes, yes, that is every day's problem. I was working for United Nations, and it was like a dream job. And then I realized that in addition to all my fun parts of the job, there was this streak of frustration, painful experience, harassment by one of my colleagues, actually more than one, but from one I got really tired. And it took me about 3 years to finally speak out. And when I raised my voice in a very hush-hush manner, quietly, I found out that actually every woman in that office was experiencing the same thing. 11 of us joined hands to file a complaint against this particular colleague of sexual harassment.
When she was going through this case, working for the UN, it was a very difficult time for all of us. Very difficult, especially the 2 years when she was fighting the case.
It's very hard to confront something like this, especially when a lot of times the women are told that they perhaps brought it upon themselves in some form by either dressing a certain way or saying a certain thing.
जब हम इस कॉज को लेके चले कि इसके लिए कुछ होना चाहिए, तो फिर लोगों ने हमें ज्वाइन इन करना शुरू कर दिया। उसकी अवेयरनेस लोगों को आनी शुरू हो गई। नहीं, मैं घर से काम के लिए निकलती हूँ, अपना हुनर बेचने के लिए निकलती हूँ, अपनी रिस्पेक्ट बेचने के लिए नहीं निकलती।
Yes, that shouldn't happen to you. But there's no solution, so what do we do if this happens? And I think this incredible movement gives you that solution.
We set AASHA's rules and norms quite early. It was neither too structured to become a bureaucracy, nor too loose to become inefficient. It was never registered, it never had a bank account, it was managed voluntarily, flat structure, with no hierarchies, but we had very clear delegation.
AASHA as a movement was patient but persistent. It was homegrown and a truly authentic bottom-up movement. And unlike many others, it was not about bashing the government or staging protests, but building alliances and rallying support of the stakeholders, including the government, in a solution-focused way towards very realistic and concrete solutions.
उसने कभी हार नहीं मानी थी। बेशुमार बड़ी ऑड सिचुएशंस आई कि आपने बिल को काफ़ी आगे तक पहुंचाया तो सेक्रेटरी बदल गया, या आप कम्युनिटी में बहुत सारे मसाइल आए। फौजिया दरमियान में एक जेल करने वाली एक पिवटल फोर्स थी जिनके इर्द गिर्द हम सब ने मिलकर काम किया।
One thing about the AASHA movement is that it was never adversarial. It was never confrontative. It was always, supportive and encouraging, and therefore people were not, antagonized. So they would become supportive.
जो ठंडा सा एक मिजाज है, एक भोलपन है, एक
नरमी है, शफ़क़त है मिजाज के अंदर कि इतनी बड़ी बड़ी लड़ाइयाँ लड़ती हैं, इतनी बड़ी बड़ी जंगें लड़ती हैं और किसी को ये नज़र नहीं आता कि ये जंगजू हैं। तो ये जो इनकी कामयाब एक लड़ाई है, ये इसकी कामयाबी का राज मुझे यही लगता है कि जितनी मुस्तकिल मिजाजी और ठंडक से ये लड़ाई लड़ लेती हैं, ये हर एक के बस की बात नहीं है।
She, I think, leads in a manner where she does not appear to be leading. She appears to be one of the rank in the movement. And although she is giving the direction and she is leading, I think that's a very, the soft sort of leadership.
Every time you're trying to do something, there's a lot of resistance against it. There's a lot of negative thinking. How to combat that negative thinking into making it into a positive, a picture. That requires an excellent planner right from A to Z. And that's what we found in Fouzia.
It's important to understand Fouzia's personality. She's like 12 different people put together in one. She's workaholic, but at the same time she likes taking risks. In building AASHA movement and challenging society's status quo, Fouzia took a lot of risks. Interestingly, she says scuba diving helps her overcome fears of risks and open her eyes to a new world and new perspectives.
When there are obstacles, she simply assumes that those will be gone at some point, and I've never seen her deeply depressed about a process not working. She will concentrate her efforts, but her overall demeanor doesn't change. She remains a positive, vivacious individual.
Fouzia is a very positive person. Once the case ended, she started thinking about what was it that she could do so that other women did not have to go through what she went through.
Who can in one day be working in the Senate, be writing a law and organizing a dance party at the same time. And it's all a part of who she is.
When I dance with other people, it is the bonding and it is the pleasure of living that moment. I just love the feeling of it.
A society that thrives on elite control quickly stigmatizes creative expression so that people do not think creatively and dream of alternative futures. The fight has always been to bring the creative expression back into the society.
Initially, when we coined the term, the Urdu term for sexual harassment, it was the media who helped us establish it.
We signed up with AASHA right in the beginning, primarily because we thought we needed to introduce this culture of, zero tolerance as far as sexual harassment was concerned within the office spaces.
अगर औरत मर्द साथ का काम करेंगे तो इस किस्म की चीज़ें होंगी, इनमें मैं यकीन नहीं रखती, क्योंकि मैं ये समझती हूँ कि जो जहनी एक प्रॉब्लम्स हैं या क्रिमिनल माइंडेड लोग हैं वो कहीं भी गंद करेंगे. बहुत सारे लोगों की आज़ादी रोकना इस वजह से कि 2-3 बुरे लोग हैं, ये ठीक बात नहीं है. We used to have public service messages going on air for free. They would make public service messages for us, a lot of programs just customized for us, and they used to be all free. We never used any resources for 10 years to get media awareness or media programs.
I thought this was a very interesting way of, getting to people through humor and through satire. And so we decided to try and animate those characters.
घूरन चट्टू का काम है आती जाती औरतों को ताड़ना. ये आपको कहीं भी मिल जाएंगे, मगर बस स्टॉप, मार्केटें और हुजूम बाजार इनके खास ठिकाने.
On one hand, she mobilized the whole country for dealing with the issue of sexual harassment, bringing on board trade unions, law enforcing agencies, academia, rural women, students, private sector, media, government agencies, and lawmakers. But on the other hand, parallel to all this, she has been running a human rights institute, Mehergarh.
Mehergarh in general is basically a space where we train community leaders, youth on activism.
92 में हम बॉन्डेड लेबर से आज़ाद हुए थे और उसके बाद मेरी डॉक्टर फौजिया सईद से मुलाकात हुई। वो वहाँ इस्लामाबाद में 2 महीने की मेहरगढ़ में ट्रेनिंग करवाती हैं जो कि सोशल एक्टिविज़म पर होती है। हमने जो सोशल एक्टिविज़म सीखा था, जो टूल्स हमने सीखे थे, उसको हमने अप्लाई किया और उसके बाद आज तक हमने हज़ारों लोगों को कोर्ट के थ्रू और इस पुलिस सिस्टम के थ्रू हमने आज़ाद कराया।
डॉक्टर फौजिया ने जो मेरे लिए जो किया वो शायद मैं लफ्ज़ों में बयान नहीं कर सकती क्योंकि मेरा पूरा फ्यूचर उन्होंने तब्दील कर दिया है।
Women of Pakistan are really very diverse, and one needs to understand that. You know, there are women living in rural areas, in mud houses also, and women living in very modern apartment buildings and huge residential palaces too. We have women who wear hijab, they're covered, fully covered. Also women in western jeans and everything in between. So it's very difficult. It is not fair actually to stereotype Pakistani women.
There is an intensity that comes from living an empowered life, from taking charge of things, from being present in any situation, in any relationship 100%. And that intensity shows up in all of her relationships, whether it's a relationship on a family level or her relationship to the collective issues, to the societal fronts. It's the same energy that she carries right through all her life, in all the aspects, relationships in her life.
Fouzia has explored stigma on women through her research also. Her books have a huge following, including youngsters. In her book Forgotten Faces, she writes about the women in folk theatre and their uphill battles. Working with Sharks is Fauzia's own story, in which she narrates not only how she faced but also countered sexual harassment. One of my favorites is Taboo, which has been translated into 5 languages, and this book questions the morality of a good woman and a bad woman.
I think her original claim to fame was her book Taboo, which was an exploration of the hidden world of the dancing girls and prostitutes in a Lahore district.
It was after the democratic elections in 2008 that we approached our government. Our target was to lobby with all political parties to get it passed through consensus. We knew that in this way, the implementation would be more effective.
There was an immediate reaction from the male parliamentarians, and they were like, we don't see sexual harassment, we don't come across sexual harassment. It's the women they provoke, and it's the way they dress up, you know.
The biggest resistance that came within the parliament was from the religious political parties, and until the very end they were the ones who were saying that this is not a problem, like sexual harassment is not a problem of Pakistani women, it is only a problem of these westernized, NGOized kind of women.
Grooming the parliament. I think this is something which nobody has done in this country before.
AASHA is one of those organizations which I've seen, because I've had personal experience working with them. They are a dedicated lot of young ladies. They're very courageous, very dedicated. They have a mission, they are visionaries, and they have a lot of patience.
There was a general feeling that a woman who comes out to work is probably not a demure woman who values her dignity and her self-respect.
I've also heard a lot of stories that the young girls are, are harassed
for the purpose of promotions, for other purposes by the superiors.
The AASHA movement led to this change in law, which was a dramatic and a very graphic clarion warning to all males in a male chauvinistic patriarchal society.
So I heard those stories. So when I looked into it, I said it must be passed so that the young girls should be protected when they go out to work and they should not feel insecure.
Now girls are more confident enough, they know how to deal with people in workplaces, in media places, in offices and everywhere around.
मैं समझती हूँ मैंने 90 में अगर पुलिस ज्वाइन की थी और मेरा इंटरेक्शन आशा से 2010 में हुआ तो वो जो 20 ईयर थे वो जिस खौफ में मैंने गुजारे वो अगर ये मोमेंट पहले चल पड़ती तो शायद वो खौफ कम होता.
Making people conscious that sexual harassment is an issue. Everybody is talking about the law, but I think more than the law is the consciousness among the people that she and her colleagues promoted.
Basically, as I feel, AASHA movement is the part of the democratic movement of the Pakistan, and with the achievement of the AASHA movement, we achieved democracy.
Right from the creating the awareness, right up to the strategic role of having it implemented, and the people who should be involved, the planning behind it. It's not an easy task. It's so easy to put it on film or just talk about it for 5-10 minutes, but believe me, this is an effort of last 10-15 years.
जहाँ साथ है कारवां साथ है एक जहाँ साथ है कारवां साथ है.
It has been moved that bill further to amend the Pakistan Penal Code 1860 and Code of Criminal Procedure 1898, the Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2009 be passed.
The Prime Minister of Pakistan declared 22nd of December to be the National Working Women's Day in Pakistan after the bills were passed. This was the day when Fouzia filed her sexual harassment case along with her colleagues in the United Nations.
अहम इदारा जिसका मैं जिक्र करना चाहूँगा वो वर्किंग वुमेन से मुताल्लिक शहरी तंजीमों के इत्तेहाद आशा का है. डॉक्टर फौजिया सईद की क़यादत में सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट जैसे हसास मौजू पर पार्लियामेंट की मामनत और रहनुमाई की. ये कानून साजी के मैदान में पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप की एक शानदार मिसाल है और मुझे यकीन है कि सिविल सोसाइटी और पार्लियामेंट के दरमियान ऐसा मुफीद तावन मुस्तकबिल में भी जारी रहेगा.
And it is a landmark event because this is in fact the very first time that women's activists, members of parliament, and all those who have taken a serious interest in social legislation, particularly that which pertains to the promotion and protection of women, are at a signing ceremony in the presidency. I would like to thank you and invite you, sir, to sign the bill.
I think regardless of what the circumstances are, if we want to get somewhere, we get there. How we get there, what strategies we use is a different story. I was very sure that we will eventually get there. We will get our laws passed. I didn't know it would take 10 years, but I was very willing to go for 50 years also.
जहां साथ है कारवां साथ है, एक जहां साथ है कारवां साथ है।